I saw this tweet from a journalist in Italy, and it says, I have a friend who has been in a relationship for 5 years. She is 32 now, he is 35. He says that he loves her, but doesn't feel ready to move in or commit. Thoughts? Question mark. Now, I will say that I am not really in the business of telling people that I do not know to break up. If I don't know all the situations, unless it's like cut and dry. If someone's like, "Oh, he's abusing me, he's cheating on me," like, or I'm a Christian, he's not a Christian. If you're dating or if you're engaged, then yeah, I would say break up. But there are a lot of different details and different nuances in people's relationships. There could be different caveats, different circumstances. And so I know all of that. But this person asked, in general, what are your thoughts about this situation? And from the information that we have, someone who is 32 and 35, they've been dating for 5 years. She doesn't give any extenuating circumstances or reasons other than he doesn't feel ready to move in or commit. Um, Based on that knowledge, I am saying goodbye. Goodbye. You break up with him and you move on. No, no, no. He is a man child at this point. There is a failure to launch. There is something going on here. And there is no innocuous good reason, no justification, no valid excuse for him to not commit. What is really going on here is that he does not want to. He doesn't want to. That's at the end of the day, that's what it is. And we women, we've spent all of this time psychoanalyzing, thinking, oh, well, he does want to. He does love me, but it's just because of this like thing in his past, or so, like that we give them all these different reasons and all these different justifications. And maybe that is true in your particular situation. It's usually not. It is usually that he simply does not want to, because the phrase is true. If he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would. When a guy wants to, he will stop at nothing. He will stop at nothing to pursue you, to secure the relationship, to make sure that you are together forever. If he wanted to treat you well, if he wanted to text you back, if he wanted to pursue you, if he wanted to propose, if he wanted to do all of these things, he would. Now, you might think that you're the exception. You probably are the exception. I'm talking about a general rule. If he wanted to, he would. At this point, I'm not saying within the first 2 weeks or even 6 months of a relationship, but you're in your 30s, you've been dating for 5 years, and he will not commit. It is because he doesn't want to. Now, a lot of people have also pointed out that why buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free? That is unfortunately true. At the same time, even though, of course, I believe saving sex for marriage, absolutely. At the same time, I don't want it to seem like sex is like a pawn in this game, and that's what you have to hold out to convince someone to like love you or be with you. Sure, that's part of it, but there's more here. He just doesn't actually love her enough to commit to her in this particular situation. So just remember that. And I'm talking about dating, I'm talking about being engaged. If he wanted to, he would. You don't need to overthink it. You don't need to psychoanalyze it. You don't need to give him a million different excuses. At this point in your life, as an adult who I know you as a woman, you are ready to get married. You don't need to be messing around, because you are wasting, listen to me. You are wasting your most fertile years on losers. Do not do that. Do not waste your most fertile years on weak men who will not commit. If he wanted to commit to you, he would. And what you're going to find is that once you break up and once you get over that difficulty, and it is difficult, and that sadness of being without him, that you will be better off. And that one day you will look back, whether you marry someone else quickly or not, you will still look back and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I didn't see all those red flags then. I didn't see all the problems then. I didn't see why it wouldn't work then. But when I trusted you and I made the right decision, I now see with clarity that that was the wrong situation. Thank you for giving me the strength to do the right thing. That I can promise you. I cannot promise you that God has Prince Charming waiting around the corner. I can't promise you that you will ever be married or have kids. I want that for you if that is what God has for you. But I don't know. We don't have a promise of fulfilling our wants and desires and dreams in this life. But I can promise you that getting out of a relationship that is wasting your time and wasting your energy, dating a boy that needs to become a man, that is not right for you, and that you do need to get out of it. Never be in a relationship, dating engaged, where you are convincing yourself that you like him, or you are convincing him that he likes you or loves you, whatever stage that you're in. There really should not be any convincing. Not saying it has to be perfect. I'm not saying it always has to be easy. But you should not, in the dating and engagement time, you should not have to convince yourself of anything. Like, that's the time of romance. That's the time of feelings. There won't always be those exact same feelings, but that's the time where you should feel that. And you should be so convinced. And there should be a time where you feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot be without this person. Wait for that. Wait for that. That's what I would say. And wait, of course, most of all, for the godly man. That's the most important thing. Wait for the godly man. Wait for the mature man who will pursue you and who will honor you and who does want a godly, biblical marriage and is willing to lead you in that. Wait for that person. Do not settle. I know you're scared. You're not going to find someone who is better than the guy that you're settling for. I know that you're scared that this is your last shot. I know that you're scared of being single. I know that you're scared of being alone. I know that you're sad because all of your friends are getting married and you're tired of being the bridesmaid and never the bride. Do not settle. It is better to be single and sad than married and stuck. Okay? Just remember that. Okay, that's my rant that I give, like, I don't know, maybe once a year. And it always seems to hit the right person.